Thursday.
Happy
Thursday, guys.
Welcome.
So good to see you guys.
It is live at last.
Live. So we want to thank our audience has been hanging in there and texting us and calling us and asking, when are you guys going to be live again? We love your shows. So we want to tell them today that our next live show will be the first week in December because next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's celebrating, right, Aaron?
Right.
Joe?
We do not want to compete with the turkey in the games.
We do not. So what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Let's talk about that for a second.
I'm doing family, in-laws.
Oh, nice.
My entire family. It's going to be at my son's house for the first time ever.
How exciting!
I've been freaking out for a couple of weeks already, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah.
How about you two?
Well,
Linda
Aaron,
and I, we're going to actually share the day. We're going to do the turkey trot in the morning, the 5K and sandwich. Yep.
Do 5K.
And then, 5K. And then we're going to spend the day together and then celebrate with our families over the weekend.
Fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're not doing the traditional turkey, are we, Linda?
We are not. So we got a wonderful recipe. And if David Wynot is watching the show, the gal that works with him gave us a fabulous recipe for this lobster like cannoli thing made with what's that, phyllo dough. So we're gonna have like this oysters right out of Barnstable Harbor. We're gonna do a little shucking and have a little lobster cannoli thing, and that's our Thanksgiving, right? Right, girlfriend?
Gonna be awesome.
So fun.
Can't wait.
For it. Go for it.
And kids, family. Who else? Gonna be a gathering? Or just the two of you?
We're gonna start. Just us.
Just us. We're doing family on the weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll catch up with our family. Everybody's going off in different
directions. So.
Got it.
So we're doing something different. That's all.
We're gonna exercise and then eat to our little heart's content.
So that talk about the turkey trot. People come from all over to go to the sandwich turkey trot, and it's a great fundraiser or food. So doing food for the pantry.
You bring a bag of food.
Something.
Perishable foods.
I love that event. It's so much fun. Everybody's happy to be there. People come again. It's not just people from Sandwich. They travel in to do that run. It's such a warm feeling on a cold day.
So hope for great weather. Have you?
What's that, Linda?
Have you done it, Joe? Joe, have you done it?
Oh yeah, several times. Absolutely.
That's great. Do you dress up like a little turkey or something?
No, I'm a turkey without getting dressed up.
So, well, it should be a lot of fun. So we hope you and yours have a great Thanksgiving, and all of yous that are watching our show will be back live with Cape Cod Real Estate, Cape Cod Happenings, Cape Cod People, first week of December. So let's talk a minute about our little market update here with real estate, Aaron.
Yeah, so we were just talking, the market right now, there's not a lot of houses on the market. There's about 375 homes, but there's still buyers. And we were talking how, if sellers are thinking about selling, now's a good time to sit down and talk with your realtor and make a plan. Yeah. And Joe, you had a good point too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's you need to have a plan, first of all. And in this holiday season, in all this year, it's been such a limited amount of inventory. Mm-hmm. The buyers are still there. So you may not have to go out on the full open market. And this is tricky. You have to be careful. You have to make sure you're going to get the best price, the best offer. But some people are willing to do office exclusives and just try to get a buyer without having to open up the house to everybody.
Right.
And in this market, every agent I talk to has multiple buyers in just about every price range.
Yep.
So it's possible for you to sell the house without having to go through the opens and the multiple showings. Lots of caveats. You have to be super careful. You're going to get the highest and best price for it. But there are ways to make it happen, and talk to Linda or Aaron, and they'll guide you through it.
It's great advice. And again, it can cut down on the number of foot traffic that goes through your home at this time of the year. You know, Joe and Aaron and I, we work with buyers. We have a bank of buyers that we've been working with that I just had one party leave. They were here for a month. We were searching for a home for them and exploring Cape Cod and all the areas that they love. And the inventory hasn't been there, but it could be there if you're thinking about it. Don't wait till next year. Talk to your realtor now.
Absolutely. Yeah, the future is always uncertain, and with the talks of inflation and everything else going on, and we're going to be talking to Frank Merola, our mortgage guy, in a little bit. Right now, it's still a very healthy time to buy and sell. So,
absolutely. So that's our little market update, a little snippet of the world here in Cape Cod. Let's roll into our guest.
You say hi to Jean.
Oh,
hi,
Jean. Look at that. Jeannie, we're back. Thank you for checking in with us. She has been asking, where have you guys been the past couple of weeks? So, hey,
and we'll see her Tuesday at our pie event.
Okay.
Yes. So, and yes, at the bottom of the show, we're going to talk about our 4th annual pie event. But right now, we don't want to keep our guests waiting in the wings for too long, right? I'm going to introduce them in. Put Jeannie away, and here comes Frank Merola.
Hey, Frank.
Hi.
With William Raveis Mortgage. He is our go-to guru for financing for our clients.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Sorry about the darkness and the lighting.
Yeah, you're lurking in the shadows.
You are.
But you get it done either way, so it doesn't matter.
That's right.
So, Frank, I mentioned briefly about interest rates. Can we touch on that real quick to start?
Yeah, so talking about interest rates, they seem like they have bottomed about 6 weeks ago. There's obviously there's a lot of, in the news, there's a lot of the word inflation. You'll see the word inflation quite a bit. So bonds don't react well to inflation. When you have an investor in bonds, say at 4% rate, and they purchase bonds and they get a 4% rate, when you have inflation, that 4% becomes worth less. So when you have inflation, it's adverse for buyers of bonds. And the Fed has also mentioned that they're going to reduce the tapering of the purchases of bonds by $5 billion starting successively this month. Right. So what that means is basically we had rates around 2.625, and then 2.75, and then 2.875, and then 3%. And then 3 1/8, and you see where it's going, and then 3 1/4. So we're up about a good half point in the last 6 weeks. They're projected to go even higher next year. There's rumors that we'll see rates at 4%, but historically, rates are still very, very low.
Right.
I remember jumping up and down when the rates were 5.
Yeah.
No.
I think everybody on this call, or all the 4 of us, have probably had rates that, I had one at 8% once. So getting a rate at 3 1/8 really isn't the end of the world.
It's,
not at all.
Still playing with the bank's money, which is a wonderful thing, a wonderful opportunity to have.
Yes.
Raveis has rolled out some great products, and we'd love to have you speak on some of those things and walk us through.
What I'd like to talk to you about tonight is some non-traditional type mortgages, especially on a place like Cape Cod, where we have a lot of business owners, and it's also seasonal. So when you do a traditional mortgage, you submit your taxes, your W-2s, your pay stubs, we pull your credit, and we look at all these different factors: your down payment, your credit history, how much, the type of house you're buying, that type of thing. And that's called a traditional QM, or qualified mortgage, which means that it's sellable on the secondary market. It meets all the guidelines with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. There's another menu of mortgages called non-QM, or non-qualified mortgages, and this is for people that might fit out of the box, so to speak. And I'll just give you a brief example of this. We have what's called a bank statement program, where a client could submit their previous 12 months or 24 months bank statements, and we can generate income just off of what they're putting in the bank. I had a closing this week for a self-employed person who owned a bookshop, and he had a very good accountant, and on his income taxes, there were losses. So typically, if you're self-employed and you have losses on your taxes, you're not getting a mortgage.
Right.
And we were able to help them close on a condo this week because he showed a lot of money going into his bank statements. So this was a non-QM type mortgage. The rate was slightly higher, not much higher, about a point higher than a normal traditional mortgage. But somebody in that situation might be in this condo 3 or 4 years. And if rates hold steady or even go down, they might have income on their taxes and then be able to refinance. But client was absolutely delighted that we were able to get him a mortgage. All the other local banks turned him down, and he's just absolutely jumping for joy.
That's
That's
awesome.
fantastic. So is that considered, and excuse my lay term, but an in-house product, or is that a non-sellable mortgage? People have often asked, do my mortgages always get sold?
Yeah, so this is with a niche lender. It's a brokered loan, which means, I'm the loan officer on the file, and, let's say Linda or Erin's the agent, and we do keep this in-house. We underwrite it in-house, and then we send it to the investor for final approval. So it is what's called a brokered product, but it stays with the lender. They don't, they won't, sell this to a different lender because they'll keep this in-house because it's their own product. So if there are people out there who, are self-employed and, they don't have the most pretty tax returns, but they do have a lot of money they can show that they put in the bank, this is something that could, definitely be of value to them if they're having a challenge getting a conventional type loan. And I'll be honest with you, this client's credit was below 660.
Wow.
So he didn't have the best credit in the world.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's
awesome. A great success story.
Right. Not that I'm encouraging people to have a below 660 credit score, but that's how this one laid out.
Wow. That's really very interesting. So there's that type. Who else fits that criteria? So we got a business owner.
Yep. Anyone self-employed, anybody, maybe a restaurant owner, maybe people that own a laundromat, maybe people that are landscaping. The other thing too is, COVID has helped a lot of businesses where, businesses like obviously real estate and mortgage, we've been very, very busy, but COVID has hurt a lot of businesses too, because a lot of people can't hire people. So it's been difficult for some businesses to continue to show profits on their taxes. So I think any type of seasonal business, Cape Cod type business, landscaping, restaurant, laundromat, bookstore, where somebody doesn't have the most pretty taxes, that could be a benefit to them. Okay, cool. What about people that don't have an income, that have they're funded, like trust fund, or how would you work with them? Very similar? So yeah, we have another great program, which is non-QM, and this is what's called asset dissipation. So there may be somebody that has inherited a large portfolio, or somebody that has a trust fund, and they don't have the most, income. Their lifestyle is, maybe they don't have to work, so they don't have a regular W-2 type job. So what we have is normally to do an asset dissipation loan on a conventional mortgage, you have to be 62 years old, or it has to be a fund that's employment driven. So we have a non-QM product where you can be any age, and what they'll do is they'll take the value of that portfolio, they'll divide it by 120, and whatever that number is, that's what we give them for monthly income, and we qualify them based on that. So we could have somebody that's just a part-time worker, doesn't show a lot of income, but does have a big portfolio, an IRA, stocks, mutual funds, inheritance, retirement, trust fund, and then we can qualify them on an asset dissipation loan. And there's a lot of people out there that fit in that niche box as well. That's awesome. So you guys have a lot of products that are outside the box, like you said, that maybe your local bank can't provide. Yeah. We actually we've been really working hard on this, and we've hired a lot of people to staff the non-QM side of things. So we brought on an originator from New York, and she's very, very talented. She's actually closed about $240 million of volume this year, which is a lot of mortgage volume. And I would say 50% of her business is these non-QM type loans. She has a lot of different types of clients from New York, Florida, all over the country. And it's really spearheaded Raveis Mortgage to go out and capture a lot of these lenders that can offer these types of niche loans.
Joe, you're muted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does it do the high end properties as well? Is there a limitation on the purchase price with the non-QMs?
No, so we can do, there'll be guidelines, there'll be certain loan to values. Like a lot of this stuff will, is not going to be 3% or 5% down type loans. A lot of it may be a loan to value of, 80% or 70%. These products are available for jumbo as well. And a lot of times what we need, like on the bank statement program, I didn't need the client's tax returns. All I needed was his bank statements, his license, just a summary about where his business is going, and then just a few other things. So it was unbelievable. It was actually less paperwork than a conforming loan, believe it or not.
Wow.
And this isn't the stuff that we had 10 years ago where people were misleading lenders. I mean, they still look at the bank statements. They still, verify credit score. We had to pull the person's credit. You do have to have, somewhat good credit. But this is definitely some good niche programs that we have, for clients. And we do have another one too, where it's called a DSCR, debt service coverage ratio program. So we don't have a tremendous amount of multifamilies on the Cape, but we do have 2 units and we do have 3 units. And we do have a lot of business owners that want to house employees. Yeah. So we have what's called a DSCR program, where if somebody doesn't have the best income or the best tax returns, but the property makes sense, the property can generate a monthly income that's greater than the expected PITI, or the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, the mortgage payment. If it's greater than that, then we can lend on that property if the client doesn't have the best credit or the best income or the best tax returns. It's strictly based on the ability of the property to rent for higher than what the estimated monthly payment is.
And what kind of what's the loan to value on that?
The loan to value on that is going to be either 75%, 25% down, or 70%, 30% down, which is typical. On a conforming loan, you have to put 20 to 25% down anyway. So it's just a slightly higher than just a conforming loan. So any investors, that are looking to buy 2 units, 3 units, 4, 6 units, things like that, that has great cash flow, this is a good program for them.
Yeah, there's so many businesses on the Cape that need the housing. That this is a great tool to help loosen that up.
Yeah, I get calls all the time. Restaurant owners from Nantucket, or restaurant owners in Hyannis that need to find housing for workers, because labor is just so very difficult. If you can offer housing, then you have advantage on your competition, and hopefully that labor shortage will turn around. But hopefully, these programs will stay in existence to help these clients.
Absolutely,
that is great.
What about first-time home buyers and the entry level? How are they faring in this? I know there's not a lot of product out there for them, but as far as getting loans,
so we have a great amount of loans for first-time buyers, and Joe, it is unfortunate there isn't a lot of inventory for them. When you're trying to buy a house with 3%, 0 down, 5% down, you're competing against cash or 50% down. It's been difficult for first-time buyers, but there's still a tremendous amount of programs for them. USDA, which is a rural loan, which is 0% down. We have Home Possible, Home Ready, which is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which is a 97% loan. Mass Housing is one of the biggest lenders in the state of Massachusetts. They have a down payment assistance loan, where if you don't have the down payment, they'll cover it and give you a a monthly payment to cover it instead. And
that doesn't go against the loan.
Yeah, it doesn't go against the loan. And so there's a lot of programs for these first-time buyers. I think what will happen is once hopefully this inventory crunch abates a little bit, we'll see more of them come back into the market. And you know, prices are pretty high, pretty staggering for some of the first-time buyers too. So hopefully it'll change for them.
We need sellers. We need people to move
sellers.
up or move down.
Need sellers.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
No.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Speaking of sellers, we still are seeing multiple bids on properties. Cash is still trumping a lot of financed offers, right, Frank? But doesn't Raveis have a program with a cash bid?
Yep. So
how would that work?
All right. So Raveis has been on the forefront of staying ahead of the market, and we've had a program for sellers that would, if somebody wants to sell their house, Raveis would purchase it, give them 80% of the value so that they could take that money and then they could buy something else and they could still live there. And that's been a great program. A lot of agents on the Cape have used it for sellers. We've also added a program for buyers called the Raveis Cash Bid. So if there are buyers, and there's plenty of them out there that have been beaten by cash, beaten by 27 other offers, or you know, just, you absolutely have to. You've waited 3 years, and now there's the house that meets your criteria. You don't want anyone else to get it. You could work with Raveis Cash Bid, and they will actually purchase it for you for cash, and then you will be able to purchase it from Raveis Cash Bid and take them out and put a mortgage on it. I will say that you do have to be a pretty well qualified buyer. They want to make sure that your ability to get a mortgage there's no question about that. So you want to be well qualified. You want to have your down payment. You want to have your financials figured out. We're very, very serious about this program. So what we do is we start with a Raveis certified pre-approval, which means they apply online. They upload all their paperwork, their documents, the W-2s, their taxes. One of our vice presidents of underwriting from the company, these are very high level management people, will look at that file and determine whether or not they qualify for the cash bid. And if they do, then they can sign a contract with Raveis Cash Bid to purchase the cash and then work out the finer details of them purchasing it and getting a mortgage.
And does that happen after you close, or like when do you get the mortgage?
So it happens after they close. So Raveis Cash Bid, purchase it. They can purchase it in as quickly as 10 to 14 days.
Wow.
And then the buyer takes out Raveis Cash Bid with their mortgage. So it's pretty exciting. I know the market isn't as crazy as it was maybe in February, but you know, I'm still hearing a lot of cash buyers winning the deal.
They are still.
Yeah,
they are, and there's just another way to. It's a great workaround. If there's no other place, here's another opportunity to get the house you want. If you need to be a cash buyer. Very cool. You still have a ton of applications coming in? I know a few months ago it was you were knee deep.
Yeah, very busy. Still very busy. I know a lot of times, you know, the holidays is a good time to buy a house. You know, there's less competition, so we get a lot of people that, you know, they start getting really serious, you know, around the holidays because they want to score a house when, you know, there's not possibly as many buyers. And, you know, refinances are still popular because rates are in the low threes. And, you know, so with refinances, sometimes it's not always about the rate. You know, sometimes people need to take cash out to build a deck or a sunroom. You know, sometimes they need to consolidate debt. You know, they want to pay off all their credit cards, their student loans and auto loans. People have gotten divorced, situations like that. So there's always situations where we can help people refinance their existing mortgage. So if anybody has questions about that, we do purchases and refinances as well.
What does the 15-year note look like, Ray?
So the 15-year is in the twos. You know, you do get a nice discount for doing the 15-year loan. So that one is in the mid twos versus the 30-year is in the low threes. And you know, who knows what will happen with rates? I mean, we'll see. They've always predicted that, hey, last year, at the end of last year, I was being told that, rates are going up in 2021. You won't have any refinances. And look what happened. I mean, they bottomed out. So nobody has a crystal ball. We'll see what happens and keep our fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Well, this was really great. I will put in the link below Frank's contact information so you can contact him directly. And anything else that you think that we need to add about Raveis Mortgage that we haven't covered? This is a really broad stroke, but there's a lot to offer.
Yeah. So we're a correspondent lender, which means that we can handle people's file from cradle to grave. I'm the loan officer from start to finish, and they always have access to me. We have our own underwriters and processors and our own closing team. So it's a nice way to, and I'll give you like a little story. Erin and I had a client that was purchasing, and I was in Mexico, and the client was calling me about a last minute question on the closing disclosure, and Erin was calling me, and we were able to get it done. I mean, I was in a different country, and I just relayed the message to my team back home, and they got the thing fixed and changed, and everybody closed, and everyone was super happy. So
amazing service. How you pulled that off was just so awesome, Frank. Thank you. I felt so bad calling you when you were away, but you're like, no, we're going to take care of this. We're going to get it done. It gave my buyers peace of mind, and it worked out fabulously. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we all make a great team. I'm looking forward to the apple pie next week.
Yes. So let's talk about that quickly. We're going to keep you on, Frank, because you certainly have been attending our event for the past 4 years. Yep. Erin, go ahead. Give us a snapshot of what's going on next week.
Yeah, so next Tuesday at the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce, we are giving pies away, pumpkin and apple pies, to our clients, friends, family. And it's a great event. And we look forward to seeing you, Frank, and many others. I think we're like close to 75 pies this year. So it's super exciting.
Joe attended 2 years ago, and we had it at the Sandwich Welcome Center, which is so cute.
Yep.
We're going to miss you this year, Joe.
Yeah, you're going to be wearing turkey hats, Jeannie wants to know.
We're going to do.
Of course, we got them, Jeannie, just for you. They'll be back.
We got the turkey hats. We've got flying pig hats. It's going to be a hat-wearing event.
Yeah, that's a great time. That's a nice time.
We will see you there, Jeannie. Thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you. Wow. So, yes. So next Tuesday from 3 to 6, we are going to be in pie heaven.
Lots of pies.
Very fun.
We'll see you there. And Jeannie says she misses you, Joe.
Yeah, I miss you guys too.
I miss you.
She's a great follower. So we will be live the first week in December again. And everybody, we hope you all have a great Thanksgiving holiday, however you celebrate it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll see ya. I think. Okay, bye.